Both these teams are going to love that forecast. It's 79 degrees and gorgeous overhead. Yes, there are inflatables. It's one of those days where the whole family comes out to the park. Today's pregame brought to you by Four Roses Bourbon as the twice reigning USL Championship final champion Louisville City set to take on North Carolina FC, who slayed them in the opening game of the 2019 season. Hi everybody, Mike Watts, Matt Stubbington on hand. You look at the Eastern Conference standings, and Louisville's lagging a little bit behind, but you can get a little closer to North Carolina, stay in the mix.
And that's what you want to do. You want to get into the top six, so you miss out on that first round action of the playoff picture. They thought they might have had that chance to leap into sixth place, but a good result for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds midweek gets them a little bit more breathing room. So 3 pints tonight don't get you into sixth place, but it gets you a little bit closer.
Let's take a look at some players to get impact tonight. We begin with North Carolina FC. Dre Fortune playing some of his most inspired ball. And
in this highlight clip right here, look at the movement. He came from so deep to hit that far post area. Could have hit it first time, maybe a little bit fortunate to get the ball in the back of the net, but when you're good, you make your own luck, and he's playing really good football right now.
More puns are certainly coming with Dre Fortune's name. Meanwhile, our player with the most potential is sponsored by Corsair Charities, showing children their potential instead of their obstacles since 1923. Pat McMahon's been enormous.
He has been huge. He has earned his playing time. John Hackworth saying he's been professional, he's been consistent, and he communicates really well on the field and in practice. And it's really good to see the veteran get the time that he has earned this season.
And by bringing him into right back, Oscar Menez moves to left back, and suddenly all is right with the world tactically. How about this game? Dave Sarek and John Hackworth know each other so well. So much respect between these two teams. It's North Carolina, Louisville City, lineups at kickoff coming up next.
It's a simple truth. There is no better place than where you are right now. Celebrate the moment. Feed the wolf.
Hi, welcome to Toyota's
National Clearance Event.
Yes, now's the time to get a great deal on
The last of the 2019s.
Huh, I'm impressed. But the deals will only last until
September 3rd.
What am I thinking now?
Get the greater than ever 2020 Corolla with $1,000 cash back, or a low mileage lease for $169 a month, or lease this sporty and aggressive 2019 Camry for $209 a month.
Save on the last of the 2019s.
Coming today!
Okay, what's up?
Toyota, let's go places.
We are those searching the unlimited, the unrestrained. Those that understand that life is a pursuit. Feed the wolf.
Like a summer romance, a perfect tan, or a plate of ribs. Some things are just too good to last. Like 20% estimated savings on select Ford models. Plus, earn complimentary maintenance through Ford Pass Rewards. The final days of the Hurry Up and Save sales event end soon. So get here before pumpkin spice shows up in everything and these deals ride off into the sunset. It's the last chance to get 20% estimated savings on select Ford F-150s. So hurry in, because this offer ends September 3rd.
Since 1923, Corsair Charities has shown children their potential instead of their obstacles. So they see the world as a place of possibility, where great things can take flight. When you support Corsair Charities, you help elevate every aspect of a child's life. Together, our kids, an entire community, can reach new heights. There's so much more to do. Join us by donating today.
Nothing like taking myself out to rallies and checkers. I love it too. Remember that time we wanted a classic burger, but we also wanted a spicy chicken sandwich? I remember that. Then we got both a classic burger and a spicy chicken sandwich. 2 sandwiches for $3.50? You're a cheap date. Is this a date? I think this is a date. Get 2 sandwiches all to yourself. Pick from a spicy chicken sandwich and a juicy classic burger, plus fries and a drink for $3.50. You look great today. I wanted to look nice for you. Rallies and checkers. Fast foodies know the deal.
GE Appliances welcomes you on field for today's game broadcast. Sun shining brightly as Louisville City and North Carolina FC set to meet for the second time this year. With Matt Stubbington, Mike Watts, we look at today's starting lineup presented by UPSjobs.com, beginning with Louisville.
Well, I'm not sure whether they're going to go with the 4-2-3-1 or whether it will merge into a 4-3-3. Either way, it's a strong lineup. Good to see Hopanov in there. He's a talented player. And Rasmussen with 7 goals this season, having a great year.
And for North Carolina FC, their lineup presented also by UPSjobs.com. Darren McLeod starts in goal. A groin injury for Alex Timbakis. 3rd game in a week. 2 changes beyond the goalkeeper among the field players.
And you've got to have some rotation when you're playing so many games in a short space of time. Perez starts tonight. He had a really good game midweek coming off the bench. His work down the right flank led to an own goal from the Rowdies.
Both these teams have dealt with weather delays and all kinds of weather mishaps this year. It's not going to happen today. Gorgeous day for the beautiful game. USL Championship Eastern Conference action. Louisville City and North Carolina FC. Tonight's first half brought to you by El Nopal Mexican Cuisine. Be sure to visit any of 27 Louisville area locations. La Fiesta starts here, proud partner of Louisville City FC. And this portion of tonight's game brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. These are the fan-selected gray kits, part of Supporters Week. It was about 54% of the vote that broke for the 3rd kit as opposed to the regular home or road. North Carolina in blue today. Jimenez under pressure and he lost the ball. Well done by Manny Perez. You're right, he was massive coming off the bench this week. You know, Matt, if you think about these last 2 games, 5 goals against Pittsburgh, albeit at times with only 10 men. 4 more against the Rowdies. Those are maybe the 2 most prolific defenses in the Eastern Conference. They scored 9 goals in 2 games. North Carolina's rolling.
They've had a really good year. You know, when we did the first game and John Hackle said, hey, Hurricane, he's a good coach. This team's going to be ready. And boy, were they in that first match. And they've just gone on from strength to strength. And those 2 results over this last week's time has been absolutely phenomenal. Even if you are just playing against 10 men, you still got to put the ball in the back of net. And that's something that North Carolina FC have found ways to do this season.
When Bob Lilly's your coach, it feels like you're defending with 13. They're so sturdy. So losing 1 nearly is disastrous. Jimenez against Perez. A battle we'll see all night. All day, really. It is a corner. Trey Fortune will take the corner. Chris Hubbard. Preparing for potential conflict, his 11th start of the year in goal. Fortune left that a bit short, but bounced dangerously. Fortune will get another look at this. Got Jimenez all out of sorts. Taylor, away by McMahon. That's a high hop, and Deleuze did just enough to find Al-Badawi.
It was a quality defensive header from McMahon.
Louisville trying to dribble away. McCabe was slowed. North Carolina the other direction. That'll get out on the throw. Goal kick for Louisville. Today's keys to the game are powered by Kentucky Lottery. We remind you that lottery proceeds fund college scholarship and grant programs, including every dollar of the popular Keys scholarship program, Matt.
Well, the first thing, at the moment, the home team aren't doing, they're not setting the tempo. They have to break the rhythm and tempo of North Carolina, because John Hackler says if Carolina set the tempo, they are really successful finding the spaces between the lines and connecting the passes. The other thing, get your focus right. We've seen it time and again from New City this season. The focus hasn't been there right from the opening whistle. And last time they did a game against Loudoun FC, they got too much in their own heads and ended up coming away 3-0 losers in that occasion. And then for the visitors, they know they're going to face pressure. They have to find a way to connect those passes and break that press that Lou City put on so beautifully further up the pitch.
Bounces near Matt Soso. Some additional face time there for VisionWorks. See the name there at the bottom, Dr. Mark Lynn and Associates. It's going to be the Lynn Family Stadium in Butchertown next year. Over 10,000 seats. There were reports this week about Louisville City looking into bringing an NWSL team to town, the top women's professional league, which of course North Carolina FC fans know so well because the Courage have been so historically dominant over the last 2 years in that league. Further for McCabe. Rasmussen gives chase. Whether you're talking about 17 home games or 29, depending on who exactly lines up at Lynn Family Stadium next year, I think there's a lot of excitement right now. You're seeing it all come together.
Look at the renditions of the stadium. If it's anything like that, it's going to be a fantastic venue. It's making its way so that we can actually get inside and look around the stadium. It's going to be fantastic.
Rasmussen. Pressure applied, and North Carolina sure can run. Returned by Deleuze, who announced he will retire at the end of the year. Further for Fortune, and McMahon battled him off the ball. Goal kick here, and with board-certified allergists serving 16 offices throughout Louisville Metro and Southern Indiana, relief is always nearby at Family Allergy and Asthma, the official weather sponsor of Louisville City. Visit familyallergy.com. They sponsored good weather today, sunny and 80 degrees.
So that Ackworth making his way back towards the bench. Quick word into the goalkeeper, a nod of the head from Hubbard saying, yep, I understand the message, coach. Ackworth a little bit concerned at the moment. As of yet, Lou City have not connected a pass in their attacking third.
Will continue. Taylor or Jam. Let's say this, though, about North Carolina. We talk about how well they can string passes together. Dave Sarachan, the former U.S. men's national team coach there in the foreground. Taylor, the former academy product of North Carolina FC in the background. John Ackworth felt like he knew what was coming week one. So did Dave Sarachan. Hubbard dealing with some trouble here. Has to launch it out toward the away supporters.
There's a long ball played out of the back. Trying to find Iwalo on the ball through. Sean Tosh just hangs his goalkeeper out to dry. Hubbard did well in the end to put that one out for the throw-in.
Williams. Mr. Rasmussen. Perez. It's good defensive cover by Al-Badawi, who may have a chance to serve this. Deleuze off of Speedy Williams. Deleuze falls down. Ball's just hopping around like a jumping bean today.
Confidence of North Carolina in the attack. Rutherton and Sierra, the two central defenders, and they were at the bottom of the top of the center circle in their opposition's half, and the outside backs were already in front of them.
It was Perez putting on the moves, a man who signed for Celtic but was loaned to North Carolina, just 20 years old. John Hackworth there, his first full year as the head coach. Led the team to the USL final and won it last year. Sprayed by Comcia. contained by Al-Badawi, who launches across and off the top of the netting. Maybe it was speculative, maybe he was aiming for something a bit closer and overhit it, but it did provide a little jolt, a little scare to Hubbard.
This was all meant. Ball played in. You can see that Badawi just looked up, saw where Hubbard was, drove it in towards that back post area.
Worth noting, North Carolina this year, 12 wins, 2 draws, no losses when they score first, 5 wins, 1 draw, no losses when they score in the opening 15 minutes. Naturally, those are always good indicators of winning a game, but to not have a single loss in those instances is fairly remarkable as we hit the 10-minute mark. Wolo with Tosh there, and Tosh with a push.
Referee today, Elvis Osmanovic, indicating the old pushing signal there.
We got to a Dre Fortune pun. Elvis lends itself to all kinds of enticing possibilities for us. I don't think it would entice anybody else, but
the one that comes to mind won't happen until after the final whistle, but
I hear you. I'll let you take it at the end of the game. Free kick for North Carolina. Dangerous position on the field. Never reached Perez. Taylor, nothing doing. Well, if you're Louisville, Matt, how do you begin to string passes together? It seems like every hole has been plugged up by North Carolina right now.
The visitors are doing a really good job of negating any effort that Lou City have had of trying to find Hopino to feet. Forward for Lou City, he has to find a way to make those diagonal runs back to his teammates. John Hackworth maybe move some personnel around with Mbaki Jam up top and use his speed to stretch the field a little bit.
And Paco Craig went hard into that challenge, and he's grabbing the back of his leg. He's not the only one down. Iwolo is down as well, a man who scored 5 goals in his last 5 games.
It's a good clean challenge. Timed it well. Strong central defender slide tackle there. See both players up and moving well.
And willing to stand that close to one another. That trailing leg from Paco did get a good piece of Iwolo after he very clearly got the ball. Paco Craig has been on the wrong side of the law often this year, with his 9 yellow cards, in addition to a couple of reds, one a second yellow, the other a straight red. The wrong side of the laws of the game, I mean. Deleuze. It's Deleuze again. Miller. Dave Sarakin led the U.S. men's national team after the disheartening failure to qualify for the World Cup. He was the interim coach, and he just felt like he still had something to give. He didn't feel exhausted after all that by the time Greg Berhalter had taken over the side. And North Carolina FC seemed like the perfect place for him. Lobbed over the top, brought down Hopino, and deflected away. It's a good recovery from behind. Comcia, former North Carolina Tar Heel.
Finally, Lou City go for the long ball. This is a wonderful touch. The ball skips away from Hopino for a moment. That allowed Comcia with that wonderful recovery run to put it out for the corner. This maybe what Blue City need to do. Go over the top a little bit more. Try and spread that out. This North Carolina team that are doing a great job of staying connected defensively.
The cross is cleared toward Rasmussen. Not able to kick on that. And Miller initially brought it down. Turned over. Chance now. Going into it, McLeod. Referee says nothing wrong there. The cross, McLeod left it free. And now Speedy Williams stabs at it. Well, McLeod swiped it away.
Well, to me, it looked like Mbaki Jam had the time, once he went around the goalkeeper, to turn the hips and put it goalward. Maybe he felt some contact. There's great work from Jimenez. This trailing right leg goes over the goalkeeper. There's no contact there. Almost looked like Mbaki Jam had time to look around at the referee and say, hey, I'm gonna dive now. I'm surprised that Osmanovic, the referee, did not bring out the yellow card for...
If there's one saving grace there, and the energy from Louisville is picked up massively in the last 5 minutes. This headed back by McMahon. It looked like his stride was interrupted. Could you call that a dive? Absolutely. I'm not suggesting that you wouldn't. Just saying if you're Elvis Osmanovic, you give, I would imagine, some measure of consideration to the fact that he sort of had to lift that leg over McLeod as to not kick him in the face. In goes Hopino with a sliding challenge.
Begrudgingly, I'll agree with you, but...
you and I are on the same page here. I could have seen a card one way or the other, and it clearly would have gone the dive way.
And bottom line is that Jam missed an opportunity there. He did the hard work. He beat the goalkeeper. Unfortunately for Blue City fans, he concentrated on trying to sell the foul and win the PK instead of doing what he can do, just put the ball in the back of the net.
This portion of today's game brought to you by Republic Bank. As North Carolina has tried to lob the goalkeeper from 35 yards out. Louisville has gotten about 5 yards away from the goalkeeper, beaten him, and watched McLeod come back with a remarkable recovery. These are the two real opportunities thus far. McCabe into the challenge, and there's no advantage to be played. Free kick, Louisville. Even for the long run-up of Niall McCabe, this might be a little far.
Watching Rasmussen there in conversation with Mbaki Jam to describe the run that he was looking for. Those passes being forced through the blue shirts of North Carolina. And then Hopino on the deflection. But Blue City are finding it really difficult to connect with anything going forward on the deck.
Let's take a look at what happened here by the halfway line. Awolo looked to get knocked in the head a bit. The trainer gives a thumbs up that he can remain. It's like head-to-head with Tosh.
Between Tosh and Craig, there's two central defenders you don't want to mess with. Awolo, he's messed with both of them. Come off worse both times.
Craig, number 5 in gray, is at the top of the penalty area. He is the primary focal point of service on a lot of these set pieces. You could swing it back towards them with really either player. So Menez or McCabe? It is McCabe feathering it. Hopino toward the byline. And stabbed aside by Austin Deleuze. Corner, Louisville, 19th minute.
I like the ball played in from McCabe, searching the back post area. Deleuze does well to stay on his toes and not fall for the shimmy and shake from Hopino.
The massive humanity in front of McLeod. corner, Jimenez. Toward Jam. McCabe kept it alive. Matsoso. Jimenez, quick ball over the top. Back set out. Another corner for Louisville.
Lou City are doing a much better job of controlling the rhythm now. Really putting their stamp on the game as well as the visitors.
Jimenez. Get that over the defender. Matsoso. Jimenez returns. And a throw for North Carolina. You a City fan, but not currently a season ticket holder. You can still put down a deposit, get season tickets for 2020 at brand new Lynn Family Stadium. Visit LouisvilleCityFC.com or call 502-LOU-CITY for details. Seen a lot of tweets this last month about fans picking out their seats. You get the virtual view of what it looks like. That is a long time coming. Now it seems like North Carolina can't string together a pass. This has been a tale of two 10-minute periods.
What happens when you are able to connect a couple of passes together? It allows you to break the pressure, get further up the pitch, condense your opposition rather than being condensed in your own half. See in Lou City as well, they're making a few more check back runs because the midfielders, Rasmussen, like a jump, getting further up the field, able to play in partnership.
Poor turnover. Runner coming, Perez. Slide in, perfection from Tosh. Jimenez gave it away, and Deleuze tried to put a charge into it. Perez followed by Jam. Deleuze swerving across, and it'll come out to Holpino. Struck by Williams, and just beyond the reach of Matsoso. How about Tosh coming in with another giant tackle?
Well, he had to come up with a tackle. It was his ball that led to the breakaway, but he does a fantastic job. He doesn't drop his head. Look at the timing. So often with young players, they make a mistake, the chin goes down, and they don't get back goal side. Tosh, the only reason his head went down was to do the hard work to get back goal side and make the tackle when it counted.
But he's honored at 27 that you would call him young.
Hey, anybody's young to me.
Fortune looked like he had picked out a winner there too in Perez. Bounces all the way over the top for Jam, and there's McLeod. Going into the first meeting, John Hackworth said, I know how they're going to play. They know how we're going to play. It doesn't matter that there's not a lot of film. But he was really surprised by the fact that North Carolina sat in a little bit more, countered as effectively as they did. Perez got the cross away, falls in front. Tosh there at the vital moment, and Craig, a cheeky pass out of pressure. But he called Dave Serkin a wily old dog for the way that, and he gave him a lot of credit for the way that he game planned around Louisville City. You think about it right now, Louisville's best success has been playing those direct balls.
Sometimes you got to take what the opposition give you. Golfing adage, swing what they bring. If that's what they're giving you is that ball over the top or a long ball, then use it until it's no longer on. It looked like handball, but the referee says otherwise.
Off the back heel of Iwolo, and there's Speedy Williams racing out in front, swooping in to take the ball away. Rasmussen. McMahon. That's a creative touch. And the diagonal looking to spring Jam fell short. Perez the other way. And Jimenez this time showing off his defensive bona fides. Perez again. Deleuze. Iwolo was tied up. Grabbed by Hubbard.
Feels like this is one of those games where transition is going to be huge. Both teams have done a pretty good job of transitioning from offense to defense when they've had to. For my money, though, I think the visitors have done it a little bit more controlled and organized.
Ten minutes into this game, possession was 56-44 in North Carolina. It's now 53-47 Louisville. So the pendulum has certainly swung at this stage of the game. Badawi. Tosh. Grabbed by Hubbard. Had Miller racing after it. You can see the pieces for North Carolina, right? You think about Miller, you think about that instance that was a Guillen getting forward. Wolo and Fortune, they can really break a lot of teams' backs early in games by just getting after it. Hopino got the cross away. Brought down by Matsoso. Running out of room. They say he kept it in. McCabe! I don't think that was in, but Louisville nearly took advantage.
The assistant on that far side was adamant that it did stay in. Well, the whole ball has to cross the line. I don't think it did, so I think the assistant got it right. McCabe. Nice control at the top of the box, shaping to bend it in to the upper corner on the right side of the goal as we look at it. Okay, continues to impress. Such a workhorse for Lou City.
I'm just saying that only CB Buckner and Angel Hernandez would have called that a strike, if that makes sense.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay. Iwolo went down under that push. 3 Louisville players swarmed around him. And talking with Dave Sirkin, he said, look, Iwolo's not from the U.S. Ball played too early. He's from Cameroon. I mean, you're talking about a guy where it just takes time. Even the language. Kind of get a hold of expectations here. He said it wasn't around him last year, but the way he's grown into this year, they love his versatility. He has been massive during this current stretch of 4 wins in 5 games. Speedy Williams on the near sideline is currently being attended to by the athletic trainer. He has a nosebleed right now. Dangerous there from Tosh. Miller. We'll watch it go out.
It was awkward from number 4. He had to keep that ball going on its trajectory. Just tell my young players, if you're near the near post, send the ball back whence it came. If you're at the far post, keep it going to the far side of the field if you can. Tosh awkwardly did so.
Corner bounces, an effort to whip that home, and no, Perez couldn't get it down. It bounced by Brotherton, and it was just longingly sitting there for the finishing touch.
Well, you went with the baseball parlances. That was not the strike he was looking for. Swing and a miss there. And Johnny on the spot to put it out of the danger area.
Williams has returned. will fall to Taylor. Another chance to cross. Fortune, ton of air under it.
It's the second time we've seen that corner kick from Fortune. If memory serves, he did it midweek against the Rowdies. It might have been Miller that scored on that occasion. It's a dangerous ball bouncing around. Horrible for a defender to deal with. Defender chasing the runners towards the near post as well. If the midfielders aren't paying attention, it's very easy for the attacker to pop up at the top of the box and get a clear shot on goal.
Man, the header at the half-hour mark. McMahon. Toward Perez. A little shimmy shake from Jimenez. The clearance. This portion of today's game brought to you by Sullivan University. Deleuze. Lifting for Miller. Wolo and Fortune waiting in the penalty area. It's for Perez, who's crashing toward the post. Header in front by Hubbard and in. But the flag is up. Iwolo looked like he had another goal in this incredible, torrid stretch. And it won't count.
Again, Louisville defending deep, getting flat. You see Iwolo as the ball comes in. It was actually goal side of Sean Tosh. That's the right decision. The initial ball in, he was in an offside position, gained the advantage, even though there was that flicked header forward.
And the more I look at the second ball there, the header, I think he may have been off on that too. Anyway, he cut it.
The decision was the correct one.
Into space where Jam races on. And that's So-So. So-So on the move by Guillen. Got to get back to the penalty spot. Jam is target.
It was the right idea from that So-So. Just didn't get the purchase he wanted on the ball.
Williams. Tap back, played through now. Jam! Would have been a filthy finish from the rookie out of UConn.
Well, this all started from the long ball, breaking the pressure, allowing Lou City to get up the field, put the press on, win the ball back at the beginning of their attacking third. Comes out to Jam. Look how well he turns his body to get his belt buckle towards his target. Just the momentum of the shot drifts across the face of McLeod's goal. High and wide. You see him do that. As you ask the question, why couldn't he stay on his feet for a little bit longer and try that instead of trying to win the PK?
Notably out for Louisville tonight. Aldo Piccolo still out. Brian Ownby unavailable. Cabe thought he had somebody backing him up there. You and I were talking before the game just how significant those pieces are. And I think everyone in Louisville understands that they're important. But when you try and set the context of this season, where 7th place is beneath the standard that the coaching staff and the players and the owners and the fans expect, those kinds of things are pretty significant to make note of. McMahon offside.
That was a close call.
I think they're feeling more confident now. This 3-game winning streak, I know a lot of those goals came against Atlanta too, who struggle at times. Right now, you got to say, if you find a way to get a result against North Carolina, This is a team that could stretch back into that top 4, get a home game, miss the preliminary round of the playoffs, and go right into the quarterfinal.
Well, this is the start of a huge stretch. I think 5 of the next 6 games are against teams above Lou City in the standings. Memory serves, Lou City do not have games in hand against some of them, so you have to make sure that you take 3 points when you can. And this would be a huge feather in the cap of boys in purple if they can get the winning result tonight.
Perez, unimpeded, got that cross through, and McMahon dives and clears. And then that's a little bit high there from Perez. I think nothing malicious meant by it.
It was a huge collision. I'm surprised that John was taking his time to get up. Yep, that's the right call. The run of play, I initially thought that Perez was a little hard done by, but you see him just turning his shoulder, anticipating the challenge. Coming in from number 14, and because of the little look and the little drop of their shoulder, that's why the whistle gets blown.
John was slow to get up. He is up now. But for Louisville, 3-game win streak. For North Carolina, similar run of form. And a team all the way up in 2nd place. Great form now since the early stages this season. It's just continued. This is lining up to be potentially the best year in their club's history. They've won their last 3. They're only 4 points back. New York Red Bulls 2 for top in the Eastern Conference. And a team that's only lost 5 times this year, including just once at home. So you get them on that great pitch and carry. Good luck with that. Hopino. McCabe. McMahon.
So a team that can beat you in many different ways.
Whoa! Rasmussen pumping the brakes. Williams for Jam. Kept in play by Jimenez there for a moment, but the flag had already been raised. You're right, they really can.
We saw in the first game, they used the counterattack so effectively, but if you watch the highlights, the goals that were scored, except for the last one, really were done through build-up of play and interchanging your passes. So they used the counterattack to lull Blue City into that play of going forwards and catching players up. But then when they had to, they possessed the ball beautifully into the attacking third, combined passes, and found ways to put the ball in the back of the net.
McCabe overstruck that for Hopino. North Carolina's gonna have to play with this. You talk with John Hackworth about it. He felt like both Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh sat in that low to mid block. Both of them got completely picked apart by it. So while Louisville has toyed with that a bit of late, at times, he seemed intent on not making the same tactical mistake, or at least give a different look to North Carolina than they've seen the last few games. At times they have gone into that lower block as that runs out. Blue City is teaming up with the Muhammad Ali International Airport to give our fans a chance to win 2 free tickets to any of Fly Louisville's 30+ nonstop destinations. Enter today, louisvillecity.com/contests.
The problem is if you play a low block, then you're inviting pressure. North Carolina are a really good team, and we've seen that this afternoon as far as transitioning back to the defense, preventing their opposition from connecting passes with any consistency. So it has been that long ball over the top that has brought Louisville City the majority of their success in breaking that press and getting into the attacking third.
I think to your point with Tampa Bay last game, they invited that pressure as the ball tossed in by Jimenez. And he won't be able to win the second ball. Iwolo on the run. Dave Sarkin was a little surprised by maybe the lack of energy in his terms. Tampa Bay at the outset of the game on Wednesday night, one that North Carolina won 4-2 against the best defense in the championship this year. But when you play in a low block on the road, sometimes that's what that looks like, low energy. I think Louisville was a little lagging in the first 10 minutes, turned it around.
It was so easy to get on your heels, and it's all about the transition. You've got to transition to the offense, spring forward, get players up in support. And right now you see a wasted ball forward. Immediately North Carolina win the ball. They've got 3 or 4 players looking to go forward. Well, Iwolo was not quite as forward as was first thought when that ball was played.
Shoot your shot. Clearly North Carolina saw their trigger on that, brought 3. Look at how high they're playing right now.
Grab with the jersey from Rasmussen, trying to prevent the counter. Talk about the high line from North Carolina, Brotherton and Garcia to get forward, which is so unusual from the 2 central defenders for any team. You send the outside backs and leave the central players at home. Now that's right in the middle of the center circle.
You think this is an element of the confines are a little bit tighter and they have a little more freedom to move knowing there's less room to cover in behind?
That may be part of it, but I think it's also the confidence that North Carolina have as well.
Yeah. Brotherton was bearing into McMahon, and you know, the ball had already been won by North Carolina. That little extra toss of Raggedy McManny, probably unnecessary in the end.
Silly from Brotherton. I don't know that it was terribly malicious. It may have been just a little bit of momentum as he grabbed hold of the shirt. A nice sportsmanship between the 2 players as McMahon got up and a little handshake.
I totally agree with you. It's just, you know,
it was unnecessary.
The battle was won.
Just trying to brush him aside.
And he did that. Brotherton's a big, strong dude.
This will be a great moment, though, for Lou City on a set piece. Get a good service in. Challenge McLeod's goal. Well, he can't be shooting from this angle, surely.
Surely. Cracked across toward Hopino. Be able to backstop that. Williams.
Well, a wasted set piece. And McCabe run up. It was a little bit too long. Put too much welly in that ball and all for naught. Game like this, you've got to make the set pieces count. Challenge your opposition. Make something happen inside the box. The way Iwolo comes for the ball and then Fortune stepping up into the center forward position. Flip-floppers positions there. Iwolo hoping for the flick on with the header.
Craig. Ian Hubbard a little disjointed. Jam. Hear one isolated ooh when Hopino does that. His technical ability is really quite special at its best. Perez held up his run, and there he goes. Has a Wallow down the middle, and Tosh slides in, won the ball, clears it.
I know it's only the first half, but I think Sean Tosh is my leader in the clubhouse for man of the match.
Williams! Right at McLeod. That is not Williams' primary objective game to game, but it didn't look too bad coming off. 1 minute of Sullivan University stoppage time.
This is the first time that the goalkeeper has really been challenged from a shot. Defense didn't close Williams down. He looked up, saw nothing was going on in front of him as far as runs were concerned. Why not have a crack?
Coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at our Commonwealth Credit Union roundup, scores from around the league. Some news and notes from the championship as well. Show you highlights from the first half, get you ready for the second with our Dr. Mark Lynn and Associates VisionWorks What to Look For. It's all coming up at halftime. And this should take us to the break. Matt? 0-0 at the half. Your thought?
Well, 0-0. I think both coaches will be satisfied. Although I think Dave Saraken will be a little frustrated because his team had the better of the possession, certainly up the flanks. I think Lou City did well to break the press, play the ball further up the pitch on the long ball. It's something that John Hackworth will have to solve that puzzle or bring a little bit more to that in the second half.
So the Purple family looks on. They've been there from the start. North Carolina, second in the Eastern Conference, as dangerous a team right now as any in the USL Championship. Both teams have a chance or two, but it's been a real defensive struggle. We've got your Game on Mouth Guards halftime coming up.
Toyota's national clearance event is on. It's time to save on the last of the 2019s. Congratulations. Congrats.
Lease an adventurous new 2019 RAV4 for $199 a month, or choose $1,250 finance cash, or get $3,000 cash back on the built-in the USA Highlander.
How long should we do this?
Well, the event doesn't end until September 3rd.
Toyota, let's go places.
Isn't it time to finally do something about your allergies? Rush allergy shots at Family Allergy and Asthma can begin to work in as little as 1 day, so you can find permanent relief faster than ever. Don't wait to feel better. Family Allergy and Asthma.
Like a summer romance, a perfect tan, or a plate of ribs. Some things are just too good to last. Like 20% estimated savings on select Ford models. Plus, earn complimentary maintenance through Ford Pass Rewards. The final days of the Hurry Up and Save sales event end soon. So get here before pumpkin spice shows up in everything and these deals ride off into the sunset. It's the last chance to get 20% estimated savings on select Ford models. So hurry in, because this offer ends September 3rd.
Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith is off. He's in the lead. He's heading to Fine Wines, and oh, an outstanding choice there. Mike's going to go wide, but he's heading into Bourbon Turn, and it's Justified. Gaining ground to Craft Beers, but wait, he's stopping for a taste at the line. It's Mike Smith for the win.
Hello, Chad. Good to see you again, Mr. Smith.
Liquor Barn, where Kentuckians go to celebrate life.
Like a summer romance, a perfect tan, or a plate of ribs. Some things are just too good to last. Like 20% estimated savings on select Ford models. Plus, earn complimentary maintenance through Ford Pass Rewards. The final days of the Hurry Up and Save sales event end soon. So get here before pumpkin spice shows up in everything and these deals ride off into the sunset. It's the last chance to get 20% estimated savings on select Ford F-150s. So hurry in because this offer ends September 3rd.
There's a reason everyone around here complains about allergies. They're bad. But family allergy and asthma can build up your immunity to what makes you miserable, ending your suffering for good. No more symptoms means no more complaining. Family allergy and asthma.
Game on mouth guards, halftime. Louisville City and North Carolina FC level at the break. With Matt Stubbington, Mike Watts, exciting first 45. We'll have highlights and a look around the Eastern Conference in just a moment. But first, Lou City playing host to our Wednesday night soccer, but it's not on Wednesday. Take a look. Obi charging on, curling across.
Quickly to Watson. Watson gonna take a shot. Oh my!
That is sensational from the Irishman. Plays it across and finds the one-handed chance.
Welcome into episode 13 of Steal Some Time. We are going to start over in the East and chat a little bit about North Carolina hosting the Pittsburgh Riverhounds this week. And I think that we can easily say that nobody saw a 5-0 outcome, at least in North Carolina's favor, coming out of week 24. But let me tell you, North Carolina stuck it to the Riverhounds, shut down that unbeaten streak that they had going. And really, I mean, they dominated play, outshot Pittsburgh 13-5, 8 shots on target as well, which is fantastic. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, didn't have a single shot on target, and I think that's obviously a major difference maker. North Carolina looked good, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, the same week Austin Deleuze announces his retirement, he then goes and dedicates a 5-0 win over Pittsburgh to the Oak City supporters.
So cool.
Definitely didn't play out how I thought it would.
Right.
And I think that I speak for the vast majority of fans around the championship who just kind of looked at that and said, what the heck's going on with Pittsburgh?
Elsewhere ahead in week 25, I don't know how much longer we can talk about Phoenix, but they're giving us no other choice. They're back for another dollar beer night, and this time they're hosting Sacramento. And I'm going to go on a limb here. I'm going to say that this story's different. As good as Phoenix's backline has been, I think this is the biggest chance all season that Phoenix is going to have a run for their money on dollar beer night, going for 15 straight wins.
Are you calling I won't make you go out.
No, I'll call that. Yeah, I think this is it.
They're going to lose
I
or
do.
draw?
I think.
I was just going to let you say that the win streak is snapped.
I think the win streak
She's
is
visually
snapped.
hedging right now.
Yeah, I see the bullets, the little beads of sweat just starting to she can feel the heat here. She feels the pressure. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to call it. I think the L comes.
Welcome back to today's halftime report, brought to you by Game On Mouth Guard. Scoreless at the break. I have terrible news for our good friend Scott Stewart, of course, former Lou City PR man, now at the league office, and Kelsey Steele. Our news and notes will show you Phoenix won again. They did it again. 15 games.
Surprise, surprise. When you're good, you're good. And Phoenix, they are really, really good.
Yeah. Meanwhile, East top 2 teams, both won midweek. We're seeing North Carolina right now. Only 4 points separate those two.
Not surprising. North Carolina, we've seen out this afternoon how good they are, and surprising that they are in second place perhaps as a new team. But New Louisville's too, they're doing a good job of staying up there as well. So keep winning when you can, and every time you go out, it's important to get the 3 points, especially as we're heading to the close of the season.
And it is supporters week. That's why Louisville City's wearing the jerseys they are. It was a fan vote. Let's take a look at scores from around the league. The Commonwealth Credit Union Roundup. This is all in the Eastern Conference. Already Ottawa winner over St. Louis, Pittsburgh over Loudoun on Friday. Meanwhile, a couple of these games don't really mean a lot in the playoff positioning, but Charleston's pushing for a spot. Tampa Bay is a team that could get ever closer to, both these teams.
Rowdies, at the top of the table in the early going, and they want to keep that good form as well. and you want to try and find a way into the top 10, into the top 6 if you can. But credit to the Riverhounds, good bounce back after that outing last week when this North Carolina team put a hurting on them.
Let's take a look at the standings to try and put this in perspective. You see Tampa Bay still in third. They led the Eastern Conference for 11 consecutive weeks. Right now, they are 4 points off the pace. These are live standings, so this would be if North Carolina gets a draw, Louisville got a draw.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how can Louisville find a way to get into that top 6. But as you said, their schedule coming up. They're playing teams above them. So maybe they can find a way to get those 3 points and get into the top 6, get that bye in the first round, save the legs as they go down through the stretch.
So North Carolina and Louisville could be a matchup we see in the playoffs. We've got highlights from the first half when we come back.
Still place a $50 deposit to secure your spot in line.
Heading to Toyota's national clearance event.
We got great deals for all our friends.
Better get here before the end of the song. The last of the 2019s won't last long.
$750 bonus cash on new 4Runners and Tacomas ends September 3rd. One last chance to get $1250 total cash back on the legendary 4Runner or $1750 back on the rugged Tacoma. Don't miss it.
Save on the last of the 2019s.
Toyota, let's go places.
It's the Honda Summer Spectacular event, which means more of this. The kind of elation you can only experience after getting a great deal on a Honda Civic or Civic hatchback. Or an Accord. All come standard with the Honda Sensing suite of safety and driver assistive features. And as you can see, all will provide you with plenty of joy. Come be a part of it today.
Get a great deal on the Honda Civic and find your happy place at the Honda Summer Spectacular event.
Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith is off. He's in the lead. He's heading to Fine Wines, and oh, an outstanding choice there. Mike's going to go wide, but he's heading into Bourbon Turn, and it's Justified. Gaining ground to Craft Beers, but wait, he's stopping for a taste at the line. It's Mike Smith for the win.
Hello, Chad. Good to see you again, Mr. Smith.
Liquor Barn, where Kentuckians go to celebrate life.
Like a summer romance, a perfect tan, or a plate of ribs. Some things are just too good to last. Like 20% estimated savings on select Ford models. Plus, earn complimentary maintenance through Ford Pass Rewards. The final days of the Hurry Up and Save sales event end soon. So get here before pumpkin spice shows up in everything and these deals ride off into the sunset. It's the last chance to get 20% estimated savings on select Ford models. So hurry in, because this offer ends September 3rd.
I was born in Louisville. 9,000 stories and 27 years later, I've seen this city evolve. Time goes by fast. I cover sports, but the goal is to write about the people, to find their truth. There's always a person involved or someone affected in every story. As a journalist, it's important to give unique perspective on all angles. I'm WDRB's Eric Crawford. My story is Louisville.
Louisville, Kentucky playing host to a major game in the Eastern Conference. North Carolina FC, Louisville City FC. Game on, mouth guards, halftime. How about our halftime highlights, Matt? 0-0, but this was a game where the first 10 minutes dominated by North Carolina. Louisville responded. North Carolina had a nice answer at the end.
It was a real first half of ebbs and flows, and Lou City found a way to get the ball forwards, and Hopino with a lovely touch almost gets the ball under control soon enough. Here's the right-footed touch, just skips a little bit, takes it away from him just far enough for Comcia to come across and make a fantastic tackle to put the ball out for the corner kick. And then defensive work there from Jimenez, gets the ball forwards. Oh, I wish Mbaki Jam had gone around the goalkeeper and tried the left-footed shot. Instead, he felt a little bit of contact, goes to ground, but Elvis Osmanovic was having none of it and waved away the appeals from the penalty kick. Sean Tosh, you wouldn't know it from that pass, but he has been a stellar member of the back line for Lou City in this first half, and in large part because he's been making tackles like this. This one he had to make off his own error, puts his head down, gets back, and times the slide to perfection.
And then turning, really just trying to pirouette that home. Perez Swing and a miss.
Well, he didn't do what he wanted to do and put it in the back of the net. You could see his disappointment. And that one did go in the back of the net. But the disappointment there for Iwala was to behold because the flag went up for offside. And he was straying into that position off of the header from Fortune. And then a Bucky Jam trying to make amends for his earlier error. He turns the ball almost on frame. McLeod was beaten, but it drifts past the upright. Yes, it was a great effort from the rookie.
Today's stats and facts are delivered by Liquor Barn. Now delivering. Download the Liquor Barn app. Order online today, liquorbarn.com. Early in this game, possession was almost identically flipped 10 minutes in. Meanwhile, not a lot of actually finishing efforts in this game. Somehow the ball has to find its way into the final third one way or the other by the time we're done.
Well, in the first meeting of the season, Lou City had 21 shots, 2 of which were on target. North Carolina had 12 shots and 5 were on target. They're going to have to go some to match those statistics this afternoon. It's been a real defensive matchup between these two teams and these two coaches. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the second half and what changes have been made, particularly by John Hackworth, because they have to find a way to Lou City to get the ball further up the pitch.
Here are VisionWorks what to look for as we head into the second half of play. Matt, you want to see Louisville City get a little bit higher?
Got to get up the pitch. When they were successful in the first 45 minutes, they were getting further up the field. A lot of it was that long ball forward, finding Hopinel, finding Mbaki Jam, and that's where they were successful. They were unable to put that defensive pressure up in the attacking third and the attacking half as well. North Carolina, got to keep winning the transition battle. That's when they look dangerous, when they're getting behind the ball defensively and then springing forwards on attack. It's putting Lou City under all kinds of pressure. And that's when the boys in purple get back and stay a little bit too deep defensively and causes Lou City problems.
Well, not purple today. Usually purple.
Usually purple. It's the only gray around today is the uniform. Look at that lovely blue sky.
That is long overdue. Both these teams have had just some ugly weather days this year. Elvis Osmanovic has returned to the building, and we're underway in the second half.
A sparkle off of his whistle in the sunlight as well as he blows for the start of the second half.
And he uses that whistle early on. This portion of today's game brought to you by Luna Azul Tequila. They're the official tequila of Lou City.
See what Jimenez and McCabe cook up on this set piece. Didn't really have a great effort on the set pieces in the first half. And towards the end of the first 45 minutes was completely wasted.
Jimenez, header lifted up and over. Well, he was going for that man of the match award. Lifted over the crossbar. One goal could turn the tide here in what's a real tight affair.
That was a much better delivery. McCabe with a dummy run, trying to get somebody out of the wall. Didn't really happen. Jimenez going with the service right at the penalty spot. It was a good one. Header just drifting over the crossbar.
Jimenez. Williams. Comcia.
Important touch on that ball play forward from Jimenez. See Jimenez asking for the tempo to be increased. It was Al-Badawi that deflected the ball for a moment to the foot of Comcia.
Covered by Tosh. Hubbard taking nearly too much time.
The way that Iwala never gives up on the play, chases it down, saw him do it time and again in the first half. Continues that work rate.
McMahon, who's been a revelation at right back. Consummate pro. John Hackworth saying whether he's fighting to get in the 18, fighting to get in the 11, always comes to practice, puts in the effort, does a job. Has been crucial in this recent 3-game win streak. Even if it has displaced the always attack-minded Sean Francis in the process. Right now, you ride the hot hand.
The right back position has been a question mark all season long.
When you lose Kyle Smith, you no longer have a name in Sharpie. Good run by Miller. Iwolo running down the middle. Miller tried to split the difference. Comes to Perez. Options. Look for Deleuze. And the captain goes in. Brought down Jam.
A little bit ambitious on the pass from Miller, shaping it in, trying to find Iwolo. As the ball got out to that right flank, there was important defensive footwork from Speedy Williams. He got back, cut the angle to the penalty spot, because that's where Miller had drifted to. Williams doesn't get back there. The ball's on the foot of Miller and in the back of the net, because he wouldn't miss from 12 yards out with nobody around him.
Fighting. Perez will accept a throw. A foot race. Larry Iwolo got a marginal head start.
Greg, a bit fleet of foot there.
Saying Paco's immobile? He will not take kindly to that.
I didn't say that.
Well,
I'm a little surprised.
I'm connecting dots. I don't know what you want from me. He's had a heck of a bounce back after some performances early in the year that I think the staff felt was uncharacteristic for him.
Really, I mean, you could look at the whole back line of Blue City, and there's been inconsistency there. Jimenez has not been at his best. Tosh has been in and out of the back line, some not of his own doing. He was asked to play in that holding midfield role. With Del Piccolo going out, right back has been a question mark.
Taylor Pay unavailable today. Alexi Sawahi available on the bench today. Sean Francis available on the bench today.
Some of the question marks have also been of their own doing.
Hopino kept that alive. McMahon crossing. And it gets swiped out for a corner for Louisville. There's McMahon experiencing the offensive end of the field.
It's the right idea, trying to cut it back, knowing that midfielders would be coming as trailing runners. It's good work defensively by North Carolina to put it out for the corner kick.
Jimenez. Well won, clipped back toward him. This is a familiar move. Jimenez got the cross away this time, and McLeod over the top of it. For Darren McLeod, it's only his 4th start this year. He's got a couple shutouts and won 2 of his 3 appearances, but it's been Alex Tambakis who's been the primary netminder. Now with a groin injury picked up on Wednesday.
Thought the square ball was onto Rasmussen, but Rasmussen's just ambling forward.
Matt Soso off of Miller. Miller still there. Matt Soso won the ball away, struck on a line by Williams. Nearly kept by Jimenez, grabbed by Deleuze. And now Taylor.
Just looked like Rasmussen had one thought in his mind, that was to get along the back line of North Carolina. And once he got there, then he was interested in the pass, but the space and the time had been negated at that point. To see him just curtail his run a little bit and receive the ball and see him how good he is with his feet time and again this season, and also in this match.
Looked like a good switch, but Guillen get away from Matsoso.
Lovely chest to control from Matsoso as he turns his body to get it to himself, and you can understand the player's frustration. I thought he may have had a case for being impeded by Guillen. John Hackworth certainly does. This is where the focus has to be right for Lou City. They can't get into a game against the opposition and the officials. They have to make sure they concentrate on the matter in hand.
John Hackworth's disgust seems pretty prevalent. Matsoso actually went to St. Francis High School in Louisville, grew up in Lesotho. Actually went on to Kentucky where he scored 18 times. But the second round pick of New England in 2017 has really come a long way here this year. I mean, this has been his breakout season, his 10th start of 2019 today.
He was an unknown entity to me coming into the season, and then has blossomed.
Whoa, effort play. There's a little more to be had here. This is going to be a corner purely off Holpeno's own stick-to-itiveness.
That's the sort of play as a teammate you really appreciate. Buoy the team and lift the spirits, even though the goal-scoring effort didn't come out of it. A set piece has.
Corner, Louisville, header down, that's in! Louisville scores! Paco Craig, his second of the year. Lou City on the board first.
I wasn't sure that this was going to be given. Certainly it went over the line. Some of the Louisville players were looking around, thinking that it was going to be waved off by the assistant on this near sideline. But it counts. Louisville in the score sheet. And Hopeno's effort, it didn't come from a goal-scoring chance in the run of play, but it did off at the set play. It's a good ball in. Deflects around.
Paco never touches that, does he?
He chased it into the back of the net and tried to take credit away from him. Johnny on the spot, hits it in the back of the net, makes sure that McLeod can't get it out. It was scrappy, but it counts.
Well, let's quickly get some bills paid. That goal presented by Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education, the Kentucky Lottery. And Lou City fans, this season First Financial Bank supporting Lou City and the community, donating $500 to the Boys and Girls Club of Kentuckiana each time Lou City scores the first goal. That goal scored, we believe, by Paco Craig, tonight's first goal. Thank you to First Financial Bank for their support of Louisville City and the Louisville community. The more I watch that, the more I think that was batted in off the hand of Paco Craig, that it wasn't across the line yet. And I'm interested to get another look at that. I hope my eyes deceived me and that we don't have this controversy. But that was a baffling situation.
When you look at the reaction of the players around, they weren't immediately celebrating.
No, I think everyone was baffled. I'm still baffled.
The important thing is, at the moment, and it's on the scoreboard and it's not going to be taken away.
Wow, Tosh has had a really impressive day. Maybe one bad square pass turnover. Other than that, it's been on the money.
Maybe he just wanted to make a spectacular tackle. That's why he did the bad pass. But no, he's had a really good game.
It's like the former Cavalier who shot on his own basket to get the rebound to try and get a triple-double. Not realizing that you can't get a rebound that way.
That will be good to see Paco Craig and Sean Tosh back in the form that we're used to seeing from them. Making the right decisions when they have to.
Jimenez. Columcio played for Carlos Samuano at North Carolina for the Tar Heels. Was on the team that lost the ACC final to Louisville, the Cardinals, last year. Attack on here through Rasmussen, who has since been credited the goal back in the 55th minute. That'll give him double figures, 10. Paco celebrates, but Rasmussen hits the milestone. Miller. Further for Guillen. And cracks it over the top. Let's go back to the goal and see if we can identify just about everything that we think we thought we could see.
It's a Lou City goal kick.
Rasmussen goes up for it.
There's the header.
Do we come off Rasmussen or Brotherton?
That is a Rasmussen goal, I believe.
I agree.
That's swiped out.
He was just trying to stop it from coming back out. That's what Paco Craig was doing.
Right, I'm just saying, this is where you wish you had goal line technology, because I don't know. I think it did.
It was already across the line.
Okay. I'll take your assuredness as a sign. But it is Rasmussen's goal.
Of course, of the two of us, I'm the one that's wearing the vision work spectacles.
I have happy 2020 vision without it. For Iwolo, Paco Craig the slide. Give Paco this, he knows how to celebrate. This portion of today's game brought to you by Game On Mouth Guards. In the 61st minute now. 6 minutes ago that I severely convoluted what was Magnus Rasmussen's 10th goal of the season. Miller looking for a response.
North Carolina have done a pretty good job of getting down the flanks, but the service has not been of the quality needed. Moments ago, drifted one over the byline, and that one goes begging as well.
See Dave Sarakin there. He'll be making a visit to the new Lynn Family Stadium next year. Season tickets for Lou City's 2020 inaugural season on sale now. Details about getting season tickets, you can visit LouCity.com or call 502 Lou City. Louisville looking to extend what is their longest winning streak of the year. It's 3 games now. North Carolina looking for their first 4-game winning streak since April of 2016, before they were in the USL Championship. Fortune. Miller.
I like the positioning of Tosh there. Taking away the outside, forcing Miller to the in, knowing that he had support of McMahon inside. There's yet another poor cross. Didn't really have any targets, did Miller. It's too deep.
Ball cracked across, handled by Hubbard. The more I think back to the game on Wednesday for North Carolina against Tampa Bay, the more the thought crosses my mind that individual players won one-on-one battles on the wing more often for North Carolina and followed that up with good service, often off the dribble. They overloaded sides maybe a little bit more than they have on this day. There's a lot of reasons for why maybe that hasn't come off as much, I'm sure.
Part maybe available space on the pitch. So Louisville are doing a good job of maintaining the discipline defensively and getting back, putting pressure on the player who's attempting the cross.
I think by the same token, you could argue Sean Tosh has had his best defensive day, maybe the 2019 season.
I would agree with you there. I know that Craig and Tosh haven't played in partnership a whole lot. It's not as much as we're used to seeing them playing in partnership in that back line, but certainly they've looked the best that I've seen this season. As we see yet another poor cross come over.
I would imagine eventually they're going to get it right. That's been the case here over these last couple weeks. Al-Badawi, former FC Cincinnati player a year ago, returning to his North Carolina roots. Oh, North Carolina player again, even from this year, loaned by Cincinnati, is one of the players that went with FCC to MLS. Spencer coming on. That's enough for Abdou Bakijam.
He replaces number 14, Abdou Bakijam.
Sub brought to you by MHS Global, above and beyond.
I would imagine that Hopino will drift back into the midfield. Space vacated by Jean. Spencer will be the lone wolf up top. And Spencer, with his prowess in the air, will be able to relieve the pressure with those long balls played forward.
Sham right now running like it's a 100-degree day.
Not been at his best, the rookie this afternoon. He had a couple of good moments in the first half. I still go back to his attempt to win the penalty and wish that he hadn't, because I think he would have had a clear shot on goal if he'd have maintained staying on his feet. Certainly the left-footed effort that just drifted over the upright would have been fantastic. Well, it was a fantastic effort. It would have been really good if it had found the target. It would have put McLeod under all kinds of pressure. He has indeed dropped back into the midfield area.
It's Matt Soso here. Hopino tees it up and missed it wide. He seems to be closing in on another goal.
Well, this is great work from Matt Sosa to keep that ball alive. And I wondered in the run of play if Hopino needed the extra touch, but he did, because the defender was drifting across his face. Great work from Hopino to find the area, find the space for himself to shoot. In the end, just drags his foot across it a little bit, hence it goes wide of the goal.
He and Omby are different, but they bring some similar qualities, don't they? And ultimately, only one goal in now the 8th game for Hopino since being acquired in the like-for-like, one-for-one trade. Lucky M. Kosana going to the Tampa Bay Rowdies over a month ago now. But he had maybe the goal of the season for Louisville. An amazing sliding effort. You can see elements of it coming together for him.
Oh, definitely, he's fitting into the team and finding his place. And his teammates are learning to play with him as well. Both he and Omby have such technical gifts. Omby a little bit more off of the dribble. was hoping it was work that led to the goal of the set piece. If he doesn't keep that ball alive and win the corner kick, he's still knotted at 0.
Taylor slipped it through. Miller. I think a beer just got blasted off the railing there.
You got to take better care of it. Taylor shaping for the shot, sells the defense and then threads the pass through the channel. Miller with the high and wide effort.
Not so. Spencer turned away from goal. McCabe leading. McCabe crossing. Comes to Brotherton. And bypassing McMahon. Man stepping in on the feet of Miller. Well, it is Supporters Week in the USL Championship. Told you that the fans voted for the gray jerseys. There is Mike Bromelo. They call him Scouse. There's a great article on USLchampionship.com about him right now. The lead is, you could call it the gospel according to Scouse. He's been spreading it around the Louisville community. The area there behind the goal to the left on this camera view is Scouse's house. Of course, a Liverpool supporter, which is obvious to most soccer fans. But, you know, a guy that took to this team right at the outset and has built something really incredible over there. So thank you, Scouse, for all you're doing, and thanks to all the supporters league-wide. It really is spectacular. Iwolo trying to ruin that sentiment, and Hubbard makes sure that it remains a rosy moment.
I won't hold it against him that he supports Liverpool. They beat my Saints last week.
They did. They put Southampton to the sword, huh? They're going to put most teams in the Premier League to the sword this year.
I haven't yet seen our colleague Tyler Terrence to get his ribbing, but I'm sure I will eventually.
I saw Devin Kerr, who will call the game with me on Friday night, the Louisville-Indianapolis Proximity Association football contest.
Oh, that's back?
It is. It is back. I did that from memory. If I got the abbreviation wrong, I deserve everything I get. But he did tweet, "You'll never walk alone," as soon as the game ended today against Arsenal. And our replay guy today is wearing a Mohamed Salah jersey, which I didn't really care for. There, I said it. It's Justin Rennicks coming on for Donovan Iwolo. Sub brought to you by MHS Global. Rennicks scored the game winner against France in the U20 World Cup. Not a guy that Dave Serkin had a direct hand in coaching previously, but certainly knew of him while he was leading the men's national team in an interim capacity over the last year. So Rennicks coming in from New England after a conversation with Bruce Arena led both sides to think one more time for the young man was the right fit.
Thought for about a rash challenge, then pulled out of it. Maybe McCabe that went to the ground anyway. It is. He'll be up. Okay. Iwolo put in a good shift today. Caused all kinds of problems for Lou City's back line. Kept chasing the ball down. Put Hubbard under duress when he was trying to clear it as well.
Tosh. Combination broke down. I thought Rennicks, 15 in blue, had a really inspired effort at times in the midweek. Hey fans, Lou City back at Slugger Field Friday night, August 30th, 7 p.m. against the Indy 11. Tickets available at loucity.com. Call 502-LOU-CITY. It'll also be Wednesday night soccer on a Friday, special edition on ESPN 3 as opposed to ESPN Plus. Off comes Perez. Substitution brought to you by MHS Global. It's Duvernay who comes on in his stead.
You're just trying to confuse me with all this schedule changing and channel changing of the game of the week.
Also be on live, I believe, in both markets on TV with their own individual broadcast teams. So
North Carolina,
they'll find you somehow.
In the match, number 22, Caleb DuVernay. Places number 2, Manny Perez.
Should be a fun one. Always is. There is some storied history going all the way back to the early 1800s between Indy 11 and Louisville City, according to Twitter. The internet always right. And a foul here. Guillen is down, and the first card issued in this game. It's Magnus Rasmussen who picks up the Four Roses Bourbon yellow card.
Like he was going to have an opportunity to shoot the ball. Gets closed down. Brotherton stepping in.
The referee has shown a Four Roses yellow card to Louisville City's number 7.
Trying to get the ball. He goes in, leaving his feet studs up. Easy yellow card decision from Mr. Osmanovic.
Guillen can play left back and also can play at that left central back role in a 4-back. He's played in Champions League for FC Dallas. Came out of Dunk City, Florida Gulf Coast. Lob Central, I mean, you know, they had that great year in the NCAA tournament. I know you're a Gator fan, so it's outside your purview.
It's supposed to be a pretty campus at Florida Gulf Coast. I've heard that.
I have a buddy that actually played with Guillen, I believe, in 2012 at Florida Gulf Coast. And let me tell you, the beaches were pristine by his estimation. Fans, you can head to Twitter, vote for today's Dr. Mark Lennon Associates VisionWorks Man of the Match for Louisville City. Poll open the next 15 minutes. Go to twitter.com/LouCityFC. Take a look.
Sean Tosh.
He's up for it.
Just putting my thought out there.
Oh, no. He's not up for it.
Are you kidding me?
That's a write-in. It's McMahon, Rasmussen, Matsoso, and Craig. This is a travesty. And Tosh this time picks up a yellow card and a foul. We've talked him up all day, but Rennick's had him all crossed up. And Rennick's in a really dangerous spot, just won a free kick. Yellow card brought to you by the Four Roses Bourbon.
Very important now. We've talked about it all game. It's one of my keys is make sure that the focus is correct. You can't afford silly mistakes. 1-0 lead heading down the stretch.
Rasmussen will come off here. And we'll take another look at what we believe is his goal. 55th minute.
It was a good service in. You see, that's where I was confused. Rasmussen turns around and immediately says, did I score? Did I not? He's celebrating, then looks at the official and wonders that he's not going to score. Craig thinks it's his goal. I can tell you, it was Hopeno's work that led to the corner kick and a good service from Jimenez.
Fortune and Hubbard's there. Davis coming on for Rasmussen. Sub brought to you by MHS Global, above and beyond.
The outfield video board is now displaying last
one of those things, though. Rasmussen's having such a good year.
To see this week's non-stop play of the game.
I don't know where Lou City is right now if Rasmussen has 3 goals instead of 10. I mean, in a year where Spencer, Ownby, Del Piccolo, you go down the list. Jam for a while have dealt with injuries. You want to talk about a necessary step forward for a guy who only scored 1 goal last year, did have 8 in 2015 and then went overseas. But I mean, you and I at times would roll our eyes when he came into the game because we just didn't think that it was there. And this year we have been overwhelmed by the turnaround.
And I never questioned his technical ability, but I wasn't sure about his athleticism. But he's really come on in leaps and bounds and shown that he can match the speed of the game at this level. And again, his technical ability is fantastic. He has a wonderful left foot. And then in a season, not only are you dealing with those injuries, but you're also coming in wondering where are you going to replace 30-plus goals from Lancaster and Illich leaving the team. So important for Rasmussen to come up big, and he has done so. You see the foul there as Miller runs across the back of Matsoso and picks up a yellow for his trouble, brought by 4 rows of bourbon.
With the smooth operator, Matt Stubbington, Mike Watts with you on this Saturday afternoon.
I thought you were going to say the smooth taste of 4 roses bourbon for a second there.
I'm going to need samples to figure that out. North Carolina coming off a major win against Tampa Bay midweek. Looking forward to playing at Loudoun at their new stadium, Segra Field, and then against Bethlehem at home, and then at Swope Park at Charleston. You could very much see this run continuing, whether they win or not today, in some capacity, given their upcoming schedule. All right, let's take a look. John Hackworth might have a word with Dave Sarachan after this. Not bad, but those shoes, what are those?
Sensible shoes, what's wrong with them?
Nothing at all.
Coach has still got it. Might not have the staying power for 90 minutes, but it'd be good for a little bit.
Paco Craig is down. The trainer has turned on the walkie-talkie and commenced that discussion. This portion of today's game brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places as we hit 80 minutes.
To fuel your passion.
I spoke with Dave Sarachan on Wednesday, and in the lead up to the game against Tampa Bay, he looked around the Eastern Conference and he said, hey, we've seen everybody now, and our goal not just to make the playoffs, be a top 4, top 5 team. Sort of listed some of the contenders. Kind of goes, look, New York and Tampa Bay and Indy, Nashville, and Louisville. And even in a year where Louisville's sitting in 7th, they're still in that discussion. And if you get a win here today, you would say this is maybe the singular biggest statement that they've made all season. Robbie Christo comes on for Aaron Guillen as an offense for defense move. MHS Global presenting the substitution as North Carolina looks to chase, grab a goal here, escape with a point or more.
Really threatened Hubbard's goal in the second half. They don't have a shot on target so far this match.
Excellent there from Spencer. The finish, no, it's off the post. If it weren't for bad luck, Hopino would have none at all.
Oh, you thought this one was going in the back of the net. Great work from Spencer. Splits the defense with the pass. Good work from the goalkeeper to get out and cut the angle. McLeod making life difficult for Hopino. But even then, you'd think that number 29 would score. Left-footed effort hits the outside of the post. Out for the goal kick. He thought about kicking the advertising holdings in his frustration, but thought better of it.
Duvernay cracking across. Davis, simple enough. Davis scored the game winner against Charleston in Louisville's last game, one which saw the field condition in, to be frank, pretty poor looking condition. Went down in the first 10 minutes of that game too. Felt some real confidence at the break. They got a penalty in the 30th that Rasmussen bagged, and then they were able to get the goal there from Davis in the final 15.
It's one of those games that it does build your confidence to come from behind, answer the question, and in poor conditions to boot.
Chance here, Renix off the post. Renix puts his hand straight to his mouth. He's got it agape right now. He can't believe it. Duvernay challenged harshly by McMahon. Moment of magic. McMahon will be the third, yes, Louisville player on a yellow card.
And to Duvernay's credit, he tried to stay on his feet. He was unable to do so. Card presented by Four Roses Bourbon. This was the effort. Duvernay involved again. And that ball just looked like it had eyes for the goal. At the last moment, it blinked and went to the, hit the upright. Definite yellow card as well. McMahon leaving his feet. Duvernay to ground.
Badawi walks over. It's Fortune.
Nice concentration from the goalkeeper. A lot of traffic. Tough to come out and make that play. In the end, it was a chest height. Hubbard had eyes for it. Gets it into the bread basket.
Lou City fans can get their team merchandise, including the August Scarf of the Month, kits, hats, flags, and more. LouisvilleCityFC.com. And at any home game, we can go to the permanent location on 4th Street Live. Sport some gear, support your team. This will run all the way along. Speaking of supporting your team, congratulations to John Michael Hayden. He's the new head coach of the University of Louisville's men's soccer program. They defeated in an exhibition game #2 Indiana, 2-1 on Wednesday night. And Karen Ferguson Day's women's soccer program off to a 1-0 start with a win at Ohio State, 2-1. Great crowd today in Louisville, by the way, 9,168 as the days at Slugger Field are dwindling at this point, and Scouse and the group are out and about with their GoPro included.
Another great crowd. So excited to go to the new location. Trying to get the ball back in play, put some pressure on going forward. It's been bright since he came off of the bench. On the left side of the pitch. Badawi's been a little quiet this afternoon. You really want, though, from your holding midfielder, you don't want to be calling his name too much, unless he's going forward for you.
We'll have our man of the match coming up post-game. We'll start tallying up the ballots, see how the write-ins work out. Well, I don't know what party Tosh is part of, but the way it's been sliding around, I'm sure it's probably something like the Green Party. Spencer lines it up. Can he finish this off? No. And a clearance deflected harshly back at McLeod.
See it standing tough. Not being fooled by the fancy footwork from Spencer. With the foul on Davis the fourth.
Today's Dr. Mark Glenn and Associates Vision Works Man of the Match, voted by you.
Here it comes.
Number 7, Magnus Rasmussen.
Rasmussen's been announced at the stadium, but we're still looking at the absentee ballots. More on that in a moment. Here's Davis. Menez won't get there. Miller, North Carolina looking for a late equalizer. That's deflected into the supporters' end. Corner, North Carolina, 2 minutes plus stoppage to go.
Brotherton coming up. He wasn't picked up for a moment. And Tosh gets on his shoulder.
There's the corner, got over Miller. Brotherton will stay forward, the 6'2" defender from New Zealand. Palmed away, net empty here. Hubbard backs in and curled to the back post by El Badawi.
Frustration from El Badawi. He knew where the goalkeeper was, trying to curl it into the far post. Didn't wrap his big toes around the ball enough to put the English he needed on it. Holds his head in disappointment. And again, North Carolina not hitting the target. Rennick's hit the post, but that doesn't count as an effort on goal. As strange as that seems, because it truly did hit the frame. He doesn't get credit because the goalkeeper didn't have to make the save. But after 6 efforts, goalward this game, none have tested Hubbard.
Cross lifted, Duvernay is there. And to reiterate, in this 3-game win streak, 2 of those wins came against arguably 2 of the 3 best defensive teams in the Eastern Conference, in Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh. And while Pittsburgh conceded all 5 goals after the red card that allowed for the first penalty in a 5-0 North Carolina win, they scored 4 more against Tampa Bay in 5 days against 2 of the best defensive teams in the championship. North Carolina leveled 9 goals against their opposition. And right now they're into stoppage time, 4 minutes of Sullivan University stoppage time, looking for just 1 to be the difference. As it stands, this would be a giant win in the standings for Louisville, but also for some other teams looking to catch North Carolina.
It's a great defensive header from McMahon. 2 or 3 in this game. That was the pick, I think.
Change here, Hopino comes off. And goodness me, he had 2 or 3 really good chances to find his second goal in a Louisville shirt. Either way, he did seem to run North Carolina ragged at times, and Alexi Sawahi comes on in an effort to try and end this thing. One could imagine him dropping into center back and Tosh moving up to holding mid, no?
Certainly could be. The important thing is that Sawahi needs to make sure he makes good decisions. He can get a little rash at times. A shake of the head of disappointment from Hopinot. He knows he could have put this one to bed with that breakaway effort that hit the outside of the left-hand post. As we look at the goal, you can't be too disappointed because it was his effort, his hard work that won the corner kick that Rasmussen put over the line.
That sub was brought to you by MHS Global, above and beyond. It's Louisville's final substitution. And 2 minutes remain, a throw coming. Louisville, coming into this game, felt that North Carolina was in the best form of any team in the Eastern Conference. And by the coaching staff's estimation, the best of any team outside of Phoenix, who have won 15 consecutive games. But it could all come crashing down here for North Carolina on this day. Team that has a very favorable schedule coming up to grab points and chase for the top of the East. Turned over here. Cary, North Carolina native, on the ball again. And who played in League Two for the under-23s. The ball won by Matt Soso, who's laboring upfield.
That's smart play from Davis the fourth. Just trying to get the seconds off the clock, slowing it down, inviting the challenge. Wins the throw-in. Swahi has slotted into the back line. Tosh has gone and stepped in front of Paco Craig and Swahi, but it's important that New City don't get too flat. Certainly there's only a few seconds left as Craig is on the turf.
He had already been attended to at least once, and I think he was looked at during another injury briefly as well. Looking at his right leg. Take a look at what happened here. It's coming up a bit lame.
Hopefully he's okay. On the plus side, Swahi's in. So Tosh can step back defensively alongside Swahi. It looks like Paco Craig maybe leaving the field for the remainder of the match, so that he's being helped off by the athletic training staff.
So Craig being carried off. If there's good news for Louisville, if you can find any in that, it's that Swahi was your last change. And tactically, you can simply play without one attacking midfielder in the fray. Keep that four back.
You just switch Tosh back. Spins it back into the midfield. See if you can keep North Carolina at bay and then find a way to get the ball up the field and as far away from your own goal as possible. And Tosh called for a foul. My favorite pet peeve as a former central defender.
Craig was down for 2 minutes. It means there may be another 45 seconds or so to go here. Matt Soso into space, has options. He plays it over. And now North Carolina can shoot forward and get maybe another chance. Not much doing there. Renix shown some late game heroics this year. Miller dishes it wide. Al-Badawi. That's steered aside. And one more clearance might be enough. Matt Soso goes down, a foul. And Louisville should be able to see this out from here. John Hackworth saying this is well over 4 minutes.
Matt Soso did really well there.
This will be 4 games running for Louisville City. And this has to be the most impressive of all. A 4th straight win. And Louisville rocketing up the standings. John Hackworth and the gang get the job done. A 55th minute game winner from Magnus Rasmussen. Enough as 2 longtime friends embrace.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but it was enough off the set piece. Rasmussen, in conjunction with Paco Craig, the ball gets bundled over the line. That was the goal. That was the difference between the 2 teams. Really impressive from Sean Tosh. He played really well, as did the whole back line tonight for Louisville City. It was a really good job from the boys in gray today. As they found a way to get the job done against a really good North Carolina FC team that put Louisville City to the sword in the opening game.
Magnus Rasmussen, today's man of the match, presented by Dr. Mark Lynn and Associates. His game winner, at times we weren't sure was entirely his, but it is. It's his 10th of the year.
A player who's had a really good season showing the quality that he has. A little bit lucky with the home team at times, but when you make your own luck, you find a way to get the job done. You find a way to get the 3 points, and that's exactly what Louisville City did today.
We'll wrap this one up when we return. Lou City knocks off North Carolina 1-0.
Once again, we thank you for joining us this afternoon.
At Dr. Mark Lennon Associates, I focus on taking care of my family, but I also focus on taking care of your family. We firmly believe that you've got to give back. Our primary goal is to do what's right for the patient. If that means glasses, contacts, or treating an eye condition, we will be sure you get the care that you need. We want to take care of you the same way we take care of all our family. This is our family. And here at Dr. Mark Lennon Associates, we're focused on your family, the community, and most importantly, your vision.
Like a summer romance, a perfect tan, or a plate of ribs. Some things are just too good to last. Like 20% estimated savings on select Ford models. Plus, earn complimentary maintenance through Ford Pass Rewards. The final days of the Hurry Up and Save sales event end soon. So get here before pumpkin spice shows up in everything and these deals ride off into the sunset. It's the last chance to get 20% estimated savings on select Ford F-150s. So hurry in because this offer ends September 3rd.
The president comes to Louisville with a message for the people.
To eliminate every penny of federal student loan debt owed by American veterans who are completely disabled.
WDRB News, the only local station allowed exclusive access to the commander-in-chief.
We have an opioid problem here, as you know. What are you prepared to do to help with that?
I want to come up with a painkiller that's not addictive, and we're very close.
Big stories, big coverage. That's WDRB News.
Two-time champions. Louisville City is our city.
The time is come for the takedown.
Louisville is the city of champions.
The time is come.
Louisville City FC takes down Indy 11 next Friday at 7 p.m. on My58 TV. Sponsored by Family Allergy and Asthma, Cosair Charities, and Liquor Barn. My58 TV, the official TV partner of Louisville City FC.
Fans walking out happily. Supporters Week for Louisville City ends just the way they had hoped. They started last year with a 4-game win streak. They finished the regular season with 6 straight wins. And for Louisville this year, their first winning streak of 3 games or more. It's now 4 on the bounce. Matt Stubbington, Mike Watts, full-time highlights. And we begin with North Carolina getting forward. This goal would not count for Iwolo.
Well, just drifting offside on the initial ball, and probably was still on an offside position from the header from Fortune. Doesn't find the back of the net, but this one was fortunate for the home team. Hopeno's hard work won the corner kick. Jimenez's service was a good one right along the top of the 6. Rasmussen was there. Craig was there. Craig celebrates. But the dubious goals committee says, nuh-uh, Paco Craig, it belongs to Rasmussen.
It's been a while since we've heard from that committee. Hopeno could have ended this thing right there.
He certainly could. He had really good moments in the second half. We'll be hoping for a goal soon. Frustration for Hopeno, particularly after this one. Goalkeeper McLeod does really well, comes out, narrows the angle, and Hopeno looks to the heavens in frustration. Great work by Spencer to slot the ball through the channel. Hopeno unlucky not to put it into the back of the net. Talking about unlucky, how about this one? This would have been the tying goal. It knuckled, it beat everybody, but it didn't beat the upright. Had eyes for the goal, and at the last moment, he said, nuh-uh, it's coming out, Mr. Rinnix. And that was the difference, the 1-0 victory to the home team.
Today's stats and facts delivered by Liquor Barn, now delivering. Download the Liquor Barn app or order online today, liquorbarn.com. You have to challenge the goalkeeper to get a goal.
Absolutely, and if you go back to the first game between these two teams, the opening game of the season, Louisville City had 2 shots on target in that match out of 21 shots that they took. It's a completely different game. North Carolina, they had 12 shots, 5 on target. They had none on target today, hence they come out 1-0 on the wrong side of the 1-0 decision.
By the way, Matt, what did the referee say at the end of the game?
He's left the building.
Indeed, Elvis has left the building. Let's take a look at our Toyota move of the game. Let's go places. For Magnus Rasmussen, it's that he didn't go places. That wasn't planned.
Nice work from Rasmussen. His technical ability is fantastic. He does that time and time again. Brilliant for the fans. Not so brilliant for the opposition defender who he leaves on the ground.
Well, it's a huge win for Louisville, and for North Carolina still in second, within reach of several teams. You needed your water today, 80 degrees, 9,000 plus on hand for this one, and for Louisville, maybe their biggest home win of the year. For producer Ava Ponte, director Gage Tillotson, Eric Valero, Hannah Reyes, and our entire team catching Dave Sarakin's footballing skills and such, Matt Stubbington alongside Mike Watts saying thanks for watching. Louisville City knocks off North Carolina. It finishes 1-0. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
Toyota's national clearance event is on. It's time to save on the last of the 2019s. Congratulations. Congrats.
Lease an adventurous new 2019 RAV4 for $199 a month, or choose $1,250 finance cash, or get $3,000 cash back on the built-in the USA Highlander.
How long should we do this?
Well, the event doesn't end until September 3rd.
Toyota, let's go places.
For some, it's skydiving. For others, it's a really close game. But what gets our blood pumping? At Baptist Health, it's pioneering new treatments for heart disease, equipping our expert team with the latest technology, and developing techniques that improve heart attack survival rates. At Baptist Health, we push ourselves to provide exceptional heart care for one reason, so you can keep enjoying the things that get your blood pumping.